Pokemon 151 has a lot of cool Pokemon in the sets, 151 of them, but there aren't a ton of playable cards. It is more or less a collector's set. However, I believe I have uncovered the best new deck from Pokemon 151. Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR with a brand new partner, Dodrio. Dodrio goes perfectly with Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. It's got the zooming draw ability, which allows you to draw a card once during your turn and then place a damage counter onto Dodrio, which pairs perfectly with Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR and its ticking curse attack, which does 50 damage times the amount of Pokemon you have in play with damage counters on them. So with Dodrio on your bench, you can draw cards, put damage counters into play, and do tons of damage. Dodrio is also a great backup attacker with its ballistic beak attack, which does 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each damage counter on Dodrio. So if you have 9 damage counters on your Dodrio, you can do 280 damage for just 1 colorless energy. I'm really excited to show off this deck in today's video. Let's scope it out. The thing that I like the most about this deck is that it's super fast and hard hitting. You're usually threatening 280 damage on the second turn of the game with Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR's ticking curse attack. We've got Dodrio and its zooming draw ability to help put damage counters on your benched Pokemon to power up Zoroark, but we've also got Gapejaw Bog and Gengar. Gapejaw Bog places 2 damage counters on your Pokemon when you play it from your hand to the bench. This is great for powering up Ticking Curse and for getting damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, making them easier to knock out. And then Gengar's Netherworld Gate ability allows it to come back from the discard pile and onto your bench while placing 3 damage counters on it. And just to make sure that you have a damage counter on all 6 of your Pokemon in play, we've also got 4 copies of Damage Pump, a funny item that allows you to move up to 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. And one of my favorite things to do with Damage Pump is to take a damaged Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR or a Pokemon that's got too many damage counters on it, and to move damage counters onto Dodrio to power up its ballistic beak attack even more. I think this deck is super cool, but unfortunately, it doesn't have a great Lost Box matchup. You damage your own Pokemon as part of your strategy, and Sableye can really take advantage of that. It does have some solid matchups though that I'm looking forward to showing you in today's video, but before we get to the gameplay, let's hear a word from my sponsor, Dragon Shield. You probably know Dragon Shield for their trading card game sleeves and accessories. But did you also know that Dragon Shield has created the ultimate digital Pokemon trading card game collection manager for iOS and Android devices? The Dragon Shield PokeTCG Card Manager. This app allows you to hold your Pokemon trading card game collection in the palm of your hand, so that you can easily check prices for trades, track your Pokemon collection's value and stats, build decks, and translate foreign language cards into your language of choice. My favorite feature of the PokeTCG Card Manager is the scanner that you can use to scan cards from your collection directly into the app's database. I highly recommend checking out the Dragon Shield PokeTCG Card Manager app. It's a super convenient way to keep track of your collection and a cool way to keep track of which cards are increasing in value on the market and which cards are on their way down. Download the Dragon Shield PokeTCG Card Manager app today. Huge thank you to Dragon Shield for sponsoring this video. Now, let's see what Dodrio can do. Looks like I could possibly be up against one of those new Charizard decks. We'll have to wait and see. Got a pretty decent opening hand with Battle VIP Pass. Let's slam that and see what we got going on in this deck. A couple of Doduo. We've got our Alakazam. Word. Cool. Dodrio in hand. We can save. We'll throw the Capturing Aroma. That's fine. It's a heads. Cool. And then could get Gengar, and that's like fine. Just kind of hold this hand. I don't really want to get rid of a boss. I don't want to get rid of a Dodrio. So we'll just grab the Gengar, and then if they don't disrupt my hand this turn, then I'll Ultra Ball away Gengar, and probably whatever my top deck is for a Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. And it looks like it is indeed a Charizard deck. We've got Justified Gloves, and we've got Radiant Alakazam in this deck to help us try to deal with Charizard. Radiant Alakazam can move 2 damage counters onto a Charizard, and then with Justified Gloves, we can swing for 310 damage. So we're kind of just barely able to take out a Charizard in 1 hit, but we have to have everything lined up just right. Top deck another Iono, it's fine. We'll Ultra Ball away these. Get ourselves the Zoroark. And we're going Zoroark. Dodrio. I'm just going to slam the Justified Gloves and Iono. And that's a pretty reasonable hand. This is actually really good. I do wish I had a Gapejaw Bog, but yeah, we have to do Radiant Alakazam. We have to do Zoroark, and then we can Ultra Ball and get our other Gengar into the discard pile, and then use our VSTAR. Just kind of chuck all that. We do need to find an energy, but we get to see 8 cards. We should, yeah, probably see some energy, right? Zooming draw, and then the last piece that we really want to find is a one of those fancy, you know, damage pumps. There it is. Thanks. Okay, so we can pop this thing out. And then the question is, I think we don't actually hit this Mew. I feel like we just void return the Mew, which puts damage on it, and then I can move that damage to a Charizard. Yeah, that's kind of sick. Yeah, let's jet energy. Yeah, I'm gonna do something tricky here. Okay, and then I'm gonna damage pump off of this to here and to here, and then we're gonna void return. Yeah, that was schnasty right there. Yeah, that was a sick play. Yeah, we're cooking with that one. And then by using Void Return, we send up the Gengar, and we can use Radiant Alakazam to move those damage counters, which is kind of exactly what we want to do. And we can always knock out the Pidgeot also. You know, that's when they set that up, we can do 280, so that Pidgeot's not going to last. Thankfully, we haven't ditched any boss's orders yet, which is good. And let's see what they can do. Mysterious Tail, they got Arven with Ultra Ball, so they can definitely get the Rare Candy Pidgeot. If they want to use their Forest Seal Stone, they got to put probably a Lumineon in play. There's the Pidgeot. And they're kind of like all ready to roll, right? I mean, they pretty much got everything they could possibly want going on right here. We got Rope. That's like less cool than... It's less cool, yeah. It's fine. Send up Dodrio. I don't want to sack a Dodrio. I like my birds, all right? Like the birds, man. It's fine, though. This Charizard's about to get hosed. They did get rid of a Lost Vacuum. They did not use that on my Justified Gloves, which is kind of funny. You've got to be kidding me. All right. Well, there goes that. Fine. Okay, so they take an auto prize. I think I'm just going to go in with this guy. We do top deck boss. You've got to be kidding me. I top decked boss. Well, that's fine, I guess. Yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ham through the deck. And zoom draw. And then check this out. We've got Ultra Ball away these. Let's see. Have to get that. And then I've got another Gengar in my discard pile, right? I do. Okay. Okay, we're taking the Zoroark. And then we're going Painful Spoons onto the active. And then we're popping this gamer out. And we're gonna pump it. Yeah. One there and one there. And then put down a Gapejaw Bog just in case you have to play into it. And then next turn, I should be able to finish off that Charizard with Radiant Alakazam. Unless they boss up my Radiant Alakazam and knock it out, which is like, I mean, I guess, kind of cringe if you do that, honestly, but whatever. Got another Rare Candy Charizard. Okay. And Infernal Rain. And Iono. It's fine, this hand wasn't very cool. Or Poggers. But that means that they're not going to gust my Alakazam. I do also play a Rod, so even if they do gust the Alakazam, I could probably deal with that. We've got, what, one boss in the discard pile. It's fine. This hand is not very Poggers. But it's cool. I'm going to get 2 prizes right here. The boss, now, watch me cook, chat. Okay. Painful Spoons. Boop. And we're going to take our 2. And then they promote Mew. But then I got boss. So I could either... So you just boss the Pidgeot. Yeah, 100%. You just say, like, yeah, this guy is also just, like, turbo gone. Yeah. It's okay if my opponent one-shots me because I'm 2-hit KOing that Zard. So I think we're still fine. It's Capturing Aroma. I think taking out the Pidgeot's like kind of nuts. Because that's like their whole deck. And then we can damage pump onto the bird. Ticking Curse for 300. That was pretty sick. Okay, we'll take our 2. Got another Pump, another Doduo. So now, like, we just had a 4-prize turn, which is pretty nasty. Obviously, they can bring up Charizard and knock me out, like, obviously. They do that. They don't have Pidgeot in play anymore, though. So I can Iono them. And if they put down a support Pokemon like Lumineon, then I just boss for game on that. I didn't want to hit the Charizard because it felt like with Pidgeot, they might still be able to like dance around that. But maybe punching the Charizard was correct. It's tough to say. This Hisuian Zoroark was already damaged, so it didn't really matter. They're hitting the one-hit KO on this Hisuian Zoroark anyway, because it's already severely damaged. Unfortunately, that 4 Seal Stone not going to do anything on the Charizard. And they've got nothing. Holy smokes, they've got nothing. Okay. Zooming Draw. Gapejaw Bog. And then, what are we thinking here? I don't want to waste any resources. So I just swing. I mean, there's really no... It doesn't matter. I don't want to waste the jet. Just kind of hold. And then we'll see what they do. They want to force me to 1 prize, I guess, so they can try to sweep with this Charizard, which I get. But Dodrio's another attacker too, so all I need to do is find an energy, and I can attack with that Dodrio. Yeah, they're going to Lumineon. I think that this is exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to like put me to 1 prize, Ultra Ball for Lumineon, Lumineon for Iono. And I don't have like the best board state. I mean, I've only got 1 Dodrio. That's only +1 draw. Hello, bud. That's crazy. You're going to try... Oh, you're trying to cheese me. Oh, you thought you could cheese me, huh? You thought you were going to catch me slipping. Oh, I see. Yes, that is not going to work for you. Radiant Alakazam. Not unless you also have a Temple of Sinnoh, which you do not have. So now you get to feel the wrath of the extremely rare 3 Jet Energy Ticking Curse. GG's. Looks like I'm up against Gardevoir. That, or I guess it could be Charizard featuring Kirlia, but we'll see. Got my broken Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR deck and a couple of Capturing Aroma. Let's see how these work out. Hoping for a Tails, and we find one. It's good. I can use it to go get Doduo. Don't necessarily want to squawk this turn because I've got, you know, solid enough cards for next turn. Jet Energy, Dodrio. Yeah, I'm cool. So we'll just get Doduo, and then Capturing Aroma again. And it's another Tails. Perfect. Which we can use to get yet another Doduo. Put those down. Jet into the active spots. And pass. And we'll wait and see what my opponent's playing before I slam down my Radiant Alakazam or anything. Make sure it is Gardevoir. And it is Gardevoir. There's a Fog Crystal, so that seems like what we're up against. We're probably going to be able to take a knockout turn 2 with Dodrio. Could always retreat into Zoroark as well. I would have to get a Gengar into the discard pile, and then use a damage pump in order to move an extra damage counter onto Dodrio, as Dodrio's attack does 10 plus 30 for each damage counter, so would have been nice to get a turn 1 Gapejaw, but it's all good. We got Battle VIP Pass. Then get a couple more Ralts. And it's my go. Cool. Double Dodrio, love to see it. I could also just get a damage pump and move a damage counter from my Dodrio to my other Dodrio, which would be kind of funny. And Phantom Star, discard, draw 6. Got a Gapejaw right there. And Capturing Aroma. It's a head, so we'll get a Gengar and chuck it. And we're saying, okay, we want to find one of our 3 damage pumps in the deck. That, or I could say, all right, I'm just going to attack with Zoroark turn 2, which is also valid. Like, those are both fine. Just like whether or not I want to commit this jet energy there. But I feel like Zoroark's just better to save for later. But taking this knockout is also really important. I think I'll just... We'll save the energy attachment. We do find the damage pump, though, so we're chilling. Let's go... Zoom Zoom. Find another Gengar. Sweet. Zoom again. Manaphy. We can put down... the Zoroark with Gapejaw. Can Ultra Ball away Gengar and Manaphy. Get another Doduo just to have it in my hand. That's fine. Okay. And bring this Gengar out. And pump here and here. And now with 20 damage on it, we are using Ballistic Beak for 70 damage and the knockouts, which is great for us. We've got Boss's Orders, removing the Mew, also makes it less likely that they're going to be able to find a rare candy this turn, which we really like. So that's good. And let's see what they got turn 2. Expecting to get Iono'd. I feel like against Gardevoir, you get Iono'd almost every turn in the game. It's kind of just their thing. They got Curlia. Refinement, discard Pal Pad. You'd love to see that if you're me. Radiant Greninja. Takes 20 damage. You'll love to see that if you're me. Because I can then move that damage around with Painful Spoons to a more optimal location. I do like Radiant Alakazam in this deck, being able to soften Pokemon up that you are just short of taking the knockout on. Like Gardevoir has 310 HP, so being able to use Radiant Alakazam to chip damage counters over to the Gardevoir means that you set yourself up to be able to take those big 2-prize knockouts. And this is kind of a fun deck because, yo, if you Teleportation Burst me, you're feeding the beast. It's a fun deck because you can, you know, take knockouts with Dodrio and Zoroark, and they both are just capable of some pretty significant damage. Nice, we got Research, Boss, Double Turbo Energy. We'll see if they get the rare candy Gardevoir off of this. And then, of course, if they have to damage themselves and take a knockout with Gardevoir EX or something, then I'm fine with that too. Because if they damage themselves twice, then I can take the one-hit KO with Hisuian Zoroark as well. It looks like they do have rare candy Gardevoir. So, are they going to take this knockout with Gardevoir EX? Is that what they want to do? I'm down. I would love it if they do that. That would be great. Nah, they're scared. Oh. Retreat into Greninja. But I still have boss. So I'm just gonna boss. Excuse me. I still have boss, so I'm just gonna boss up Curly and knock it out this turn. Zoom draw. Zoom draw again. And nice, we got another jet like that. Ultra Ball away to Battle VIP Pass. I love when the decisions are easy. Oh, but yes, that's correct. My Zoroarks are all in the discard pile, which is kind of funny because I discarded them. So I need to find my rod, but that's okay. Painful Spoons. And I'm going to move those damage counters over to the Gardevoir EX. Yes, sir. And then I think I'm okay to just damage pump off that over there. Just kind of make sure that I have all these damage counters that I want. Double turbo energy can live on the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. And we'll boss up the Corellia and just knock it out with Ballistic Beak for 100. And then next turn I've got Research. And since this deck plays 4 Boss's Orders, there's my rod. Since this deck plays 4 Boss's Orders, we have just a lot of aggro potential on the bench for slow starts. Like if your opponent has just like a slightly suboptimal start, you can really punish them for that, which I very much like. And that 20 damage we move to the Gardevoir really matters as well. Because like I said, with just 20 more damage, we are in there. The one-hit KO with Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. It looks like my opponent is kind of grinding their wheels. Having a tough time. They do have the Mirage Step Curlia. Weren't able to utilize that last turn. Just got Refinement, maybe a Concealed Cards. They've got a lot of energy in the discard pile. But again, Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR is just really threatening a lot of damage for just that one energy. Very low maintenance attack. They got Concealed Cards, but do they have an attacker? I mean, they could... Haven't played a supporter yet. They could boss and knock out my Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR with like a Zacian or something. I mean, it's possible for them to do that. They've got 7 energy in the discard pile. They could evolve into Gardevoir with the Shining Arcana ability and draw some more cards that way. Looks like it's going to be Z-Money, as I thought. But do they have Boss's Orders to take out my Zoroark VSTAR? Thankfully, I just got this Super Rod off the prizes so that I can shuffle my Zoroark VSTARs back into the deck, which is quite good. It looks like they are powering this Zacian all the way up, so they probably do have a boss. But they're going to take 2 prizes, and then I'll just be able to, like, frankly, I can just knock that out with the Dodrio, right? So what do I even really care? Then I'm going to force you back on the odd prizes with Dodrio. Yeah, they got 7 energy. They are doing 270. And Boss's Orders on the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR. This thing is a goner. That is fine, though, as your 2 prize Pokemon's only got 80 hit points left. So Dodrio will eat that. Faux show. Okay, and this thing's already got 40 on it. We love to see that. I've got Iono. I could set them to 4, but I just want to draw more cards. So we're going to do that instead. Super Rod. Put those back into the deck. And then, yeah, I might as well just keep this jet energy. I can jet that. Might as well have that on both those. You've got 80 hit points left, so I just need to use its ability once, and then I'm chilling. And we'll research. We find Capturing Aroma. And we wanted a heads, we got a tails, that's okay. Grab that, take a look. We got 2 Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR in the deck, and 2 double turbo energies. Cool. Then, let's zoom. And there's our VSTAR. We'll zoom again. And there's a boss. I can bench this. This thing's taking the knockout. I can move damage counters. I have to be careful. All right, it's got 80. I could move 2 off of this, and I'm doing 100 right now. So I can move 20 off of it. I'm still taking knockout, so we will do that. And we're going to move 2 off of here over to the Gardevoir, because that means that I can still knock it out even if they use Cresselia or something cheeky like that. And then I will damage pump and move a damage counter off of this to here and to here as well. That's fine. And then Ballistic Beak. Cool. Take our 2 prizes. I've got boss for game on that Gardevoir, which is kind of sweet. If they don't do anything, we just attach double turbo energy to Zoroark VSTAR, bring up Gardevoir EX, smack it, knock it out, GG's. This thing's got 250 hit points left, so it is super within range. And that's all thanks to Radiant Alakazam. And I love the Dodrio addition to the Zoroark deck. It just gives it such a good... It gives it so much more flexibility than it used to have. It used to be that you were only attacking with Zoroark VSTAR, so if you had to like force an odd prize, there just wasn't a great way to do that. But now the Dodrio feels like it really fits just kind of smoothly into the deck, which I like a whole lot. Yeah, they got Gardevoir, Shining Arcana. Will they be able to Iono me to 2? That would be tough. This deck does play just a ton of supporters, though. I mean, we've got 4 Research and 4 Iono and 4 Boss. And that is by design, because we know that Dodrio doesn't draw cards like BRS does. You need to actually... You still need to play a decent amount of draw supporters. You've got some explosive draw in the way of Phantom Star, right? Early Researches. Yo, Collapse, chill. It's fine, I'll get rid of my Gengar. And Iono. So, it's interesting. Looks like they're not going to be gusting, but they do kind of remove my option to be able to hit that maximum damage count, which is unfortunate. And now I've got a very small hand. I can take this knockout on the Gardevoir with Dodrio, but it could leave me in a situation where I just don't have the energy I need to finish the game, which is tough. And they got Brainwave for knockout. And this is the kind of situation where BRS, BRS would be nice here, right? This Dodrio only getting you 1 card. We got Iono, though. Like I said, we do play a lot of supporters. So let's go Iono. Nice. Double Turbo Energy. Zooming Draw. And you've got 80 hit points left. Painful Spoons. Move that over there. And then Ballistic Beak for 100 for the perfect knockouts. And we are hanging on. We've got everything we need. We should be able to one-hit KO anything that comes into the active this next turn. I put 20 damage on this Ralts just in case my opponent does Rare Candy Gardevoir EX, right? Because if they go Rare Candy Gardevoir EX knockout here, then I still would need... And they ain't got it, chat. GG's, that's right. Zoroark Dodrio. Getting in there with a fat Dubsky. Looks like I'm up against another mid-Miraidon deck. We've got a nice-looking opening hand with Doduo, Double Turbo Energy, and a pair of Ultra Balls. Going second isn't great in this matchup. You do give them an opportunity to get that first big knockout. But I have to say, I mean, I'm very pleased that they have to put Squawkabilly into play. Zapdos also isn't like a major player in this matchup, so we're not really worried about that. I do have to watch out with Zapdos. If I've got 4 benched Pokemon after the first turn, they can fill the bench and then knock me out with Lightning Rondo, so that's something. Got a good question in the chats. What do I personally recommend for GLC for best of 1 and best of 3? I think 40-minute best of 1 is good. For best of 3, I don't know. Depends on what the organization of your event is, but probably want 90-minute best of 3. Something like that. You figure, all right, so what do they do in standard? Standard, they do 25, 30 best of 1, and then 50-minute best of 3. So similarly, 40-minute best of 1, 90-minute best of 3 is what my suggestion would be. Battle VIP Pass off the top. That is great. Gonna go for a pair of Doduo. You pretty much always like to get the Doduo out with Battle VIP Pass because with Battle VIP Pass, you don't have a chance to use Gapejaw Bog, right? Which means that your Pokemon won't get any damage counters on them. But, you know, I wasn't able to find Gapejaw Bog for any of those dudes, so, you know, we're kind of just chilling here. And I don't want to actually... I don't think I want to use this Battle VIP Pass. I guess I could, though, so long as it's for a final Doduo. I think that's okay. And then we're just saying, like, okay, next turn... Because we want to try and force them to knock out a Doduo. We're going to put the Justice Gloves on that guy and then say, all right, Void Return. Go get him, Doduo. And we're going to hope that they just, like, smack into a Doduo. We'll see if they have Boss's Orders this turn. They haven't used their VSTAR power, so it looks like they're just going for Arven. Which means that my Pokemon V are safe, and that's exactly what we want. We want them to have to knock out my Doduo, and then I'll have an opportunity to start trading with 2 prizers, and that's why I like playing so many Boss's Orders in this deck. Like, I would really like playing 4, but... Looks like they've got Generator. Maybe they're going to build up Zapdos and try to go in with a single prizer, but they don't quite get there. That can be how they can skip ahead again, as well as if they force me to knock out a single prizer. Look, we're both like going to try and do that to offset the other's prize counts. Top deck the Rod, which is really good because I can just put the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR back into the deck. I don't think I'm going to need another Dodrio. So let's Capturing Aroma. We want a heads, and it's a heads. Let's go, baby. Smooth sailing. Go get the Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR, and then we're going to Capturing Aroma. We would like another heads, please. Let's go. Thank you, Berserk Burger, for that Prime sub. Appreciate the support. Thank you, Berserk Burger. There we go. There we go. We got the Gengar so that we can discard it with our VSTAR power. Phantom Star. And then we've got everything that we need for a knockout. Look at this gorgeous turn 2 board. This is ridiculous. I mean, this is nuts. This is crazy. We've got it all right here. Zooming Draw. There's Jet Energy. And then I'm thinking, like, do I actually just want to... I can just research this. That's fine. We can pop this out. I can damage pump to both my guys. We're doing maximum damage. I think it's fine. I'm not even really worried about Zapdos, frankly. I don't really even care. So then I kind of just save the boss's orders. Like, we're just going to pop this thing and use our zooming draws. And there's nothing else that we really need. Just go damage pump off this. And we're chilling. Ticking Curse for 280. And now we just have to go 2, 4, 6. Navigate our knockouts just right. Which is why we decided not to research, save that boss's orders. Because it's just going to come down to boss game. Like, they're going to maybe try and send up Zapdos, do something cheeky with that. Get themselves back on even prizes. Like, if they can boss a Dodrio, take a knockout with Zapdos, well, that's exactly why we just want to go boss's orders and then our final turn boss's orders as well. That would be ideal. But if they can... Thank you, Necro, for that Prime sub in the 6 months. Appreciate it. And that's exactly what they do. Knockout with Zapdos. But again, that's why I saved the boss's orders play. And we want to boss that Raichu, definitely. So, let's thin first. We'll Capturing Aroma, see if we get a heads or a tails, and then we Ultra Ball for the other half. So we're going to go get Dodrio with this, I think. And then we'll get the... Is there a Doduo in my deck? No, there's not a Doduo in my deck. It's the Doduo in the discard. Yeah, all my Doduo are dead. That is sad. My Rod is gone. So that's it on the Dodrio front. No more Dodrios. So we can get Gengar instead. We'll get Gengar and then Ultra Ball away those. And we're just kind of thinning the deck as much as possible. Getting all the bad cards that we don't want out the way. I could get Manaphy and I could damage pump a damage counter onto the Manaphy. And having the Manaphy down is not bad. It is just like a nice added protection, so I think that's okay. It does kind of stop the old Zapdos thing. Just in case there's any shenanigans with that. Zooming Draw. Let me find another double energy. Cool. Let's bench the Manaphy. Damage pump off the Dodrio to the Manaphy. Boss's orders the Raichu. And then we're good on everything else. Don't end the turn. Ticking Curse. 280 damage. 2 prizes remaining. Now, in order for them to do what they need to do, I mean, if they attack with a single prizer this turn, they're not taking a knockout. So they have to attack with the 2 prizer, and I've got pretty much checkmate on board. If they knock me out with Raichu V, then I promote my Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR, bring the Gengar back from the discard pile, and that's GG's. I don't need any cards. That's just on board. And that's why Gengar is so good. You have to play Gengar in this deck. If your opponent like Avery's you or whatever, you know, and you have to discard bench Pokemon, you don't care. You just bring back the Gengar. Gengar always comes back with 3 damage counters on it, so that means that you can always use your damage pump to move those damage counters where you want them to be. And with the Manaphy on my bench, they can't do anything cheeky like even hit me for not enough and then finish me off with Zapdos for 3 prizes. They like can't do that. They've got 4 prizes anyway. It's just not happening. Zooming draw for a couple cards. We got the Jets. It's Capturing Aroma. Thin the deck. You guys want to see a cool play? No! My cool play! So what I was going to do was I was going to damage swap the damage onto a Dodrio and then Jet Energy and then attack with the Dodrio and knock out the Zapdos. That was going to be hot. I'll tell you what, that card stinks, but it's fine. I don't like hate having it, but I also hate having it. Ha! Looks like I'm playing against Mew VMAX and I opened the Big D. I was so upset that I had opened this Drapion, but then, you know, this is exactly why Drapion is in the deck, and my opponent is mad. Hilarious. So what this means is Drapion pretty much guaranteed a relevant knockout, and Drapion can use Dynamic Tail and place damage counters on one of my bench Pokemon, which is cool because that jives very well with Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR's ticking curse attack, which does more damage for the amount of, you know, Pokemon you haven't played with damage counters on them. Now, what would be not cool is if my opponent is able to go turn 1 path and then I can't find one of my 3 stadiums in deck. But it looks like they just have to go energy pass. And that's hilarious because I just do this. And your body, that's right, is over for you. And Doduo has 70 hit points. I get to show you my wild style, bro. Wild thing. Da-na-na. You make my heart sing. That's how we do it. Just like that, baby. Just like that, baby. Let's go. Taking out your only Mew with the fusion energy. And I've got Hisuian Zoroark V on my bench. Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR in my hand. Research. They're so tilted, they're playing backwards cards. I don't even know what that is, bro. I can't even tell. It won't even start to tell me what that is. It's a boss's orders. Okay. And now I've got Rodrigo. And Rodrigo is going to be doing a lot of damage. Okay, let's do Capturing Aroma. It's Tails, that's fine. Scooparoony. GG's. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Hisuian Zoroark VSTAR featuring Dodrio from Pokemon 151. Y'all take it easy and have a great day. See ya.